Hi guys, welcome again to African Lady and a Baby. It's me, your host Stephanie Oki, your chocolate colored mother. On this channel, I discuss motherhood as it relates to me and my experiences being an African mother in the diaspora. So if you're just joining me for the first time, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos of me. And if you're coming back again to watch me, thank you so much. Thank you. You're like the best. Today, I want to talk about preeclampsia. I know you're probably wondering what preeclampsia is. So you probably already know that I had my baby at 37 weeks and I had a C-section. But if you don't know, head over to one of my previous videos, please, guys. Right. But preeclampsia is the reason I had my baby at 37 weeks. So now, what is preeclampsia? Preeclampsia really occurs when you have high blood pressure in pregnancy after 20 weeks. Disclaimer, I'm not a doctor and the science might be a bit glitchy, so do your own research. But I know that it's when your BP is really, really high post 20 weeks of pregnancy and you also have like protein in your urine. It's, high protein in your urine or something like that. There's a way they measure these things and they can tell and diagnose. You can also show one or two symptoms like swollen feet, though for me, I didn't have none of that, but that's one of the symptoms of preeclampsia. It's one of the things that doctors tend to watch for when you're pregnant, and I don't really know about Nigeria, but because my mom was a nurse in Nigeria, she told me that it's one of the things they really do watch for. So your blood pressure will be monitored and you will literally they'll just keep asking you questions and checking and making sure that you're not kind of going out of control with the blood pressure. Now, depending on where you are in pregnancy, if you're diagnosed with preeclampsia, they will determine whether it is better to let you continue with the pregnancy or whether it is better to have you deliver the child early. If you are diagnosed after 37 weeks, which is considered early term for a baby, for a pregnancy, then your baby will be delivered immediately. Preeclampsia is life-threatening. It is something to be taken very seriously, especially since it shows no symptoms. So it's a bit of it's a silent killer. And so doctors here, at least here in the US, they take it really, really seriously. So from the onset of my pregnancy, I already had high blood pressure. And so I was at risk of having preeclampsia. I was at a higher risk of having preeclampsia. And so they kept watching me and just trying to make sure things were okay. And things were going fine. They told me to, go on, to watch my diet, reduce my salt intake to ensure that my blood pressure was controlled. And I did that. I ate lots of dark chocolates because dark chocolate does help with blood pressure. I cut off salt completely from my diet. Like I was not putting salt in anything I ate. Yes, my food was tasteless for a long time, but I kind of got used to it. And to be honest, it's healthy because we do take in a lot of salt, especially us Nigerians. We eat plenty salt in our food. The salt in the Maggi, the salt in the other spices that we use, the salt in the food itself, and the salt that we add. Come on, guys. We actually really need to cut down on salt generally in our diets, whether or not we're even pregnant. It's something we need to just really watch because salt is not a good thing for blood pressure and your general health and well-being. So when I was about 36 weeks, I went for a checkup, and as usual, they checked everything within me and then they found out that I had preeclampsia. My BP was really rising towards the end of my pregnancy. It was, at this point, it was about 140. It was fluctuating between 130, 140 over 90, 95. That's very high, right? And so they just kept telling me, okay, control it, make sure you're taking walks, like, just do things to control your blood pressure. And so I went back home, fine. And then they called me and said, you know what, now that you have preeclampsia, we're going to have to deliver your baby at 37 weeks on the dot. I literally had 3 days notice. I was just like, oh no. I wasn't ready. Of course, nobody's ready. I don't think any mother is ever ready for, the moment. But yeah, I wasn't ready. But, I just called my husband. I'm like, yeah, you have to come. Come. We're about to go and have our baby, So that's how it went. And that's the reason I gave birth at 37 weeks. Now, preeclampsia is something that nobody talks about. I don't know why. I just never heard about it until I got pregnant. And it's weird because preeclampsia is so dangerous. It's so dangerous. It's something that I feel like the minute you get pregnant, they should start preaching it to you, because it's something that people don't take seriously. When we hear that women die, there's so many things that kill mothers, pregnant women. Both the baby and the mother will be at risk. So it's very important to talk about it, and nobody really talks about it. People, I can bet you, in fact, you know what? If you are just hearing about preeclampsia for the first time, please leave a comment below. Don't be shy. Trust me, many people, I really didn't know about preeclampsia until I was told about it. I did not even know, even when I was pregnant, about preeclampsia until they told me, okay, you are at risk of this. Some of the factors, actually talking about risks, let me just tell you guys some of the things that make you high risk and will increase your chances or increase the risks of you having or getting preeclampsia in pregnancy. One is high blood pressure. If you're somebody who already had high blood pressure, and if you don't think you have high blood pressure, please make sure you check your blood pressure regularly. Because what happened with me was I didn't even know that I had high BP. Maybe I didn't, I don't know. I had no idea because I wasn't even checking. And that's something we need to do. Check your blood pressure regularly to make sure that you're not at risk of anything. A healthy blood pressure should be below 120/80. If your blood pressure is higher than that, either the systolic or the diastolic, it's, you should talk to a doctor about it. If your blood pressure is already high, you have a higher chance of coming down with preeclampsia in pregnancy. You also have a higher chance, I think, depending on your age in pregnancy. You should just do your own research to find out what age, but I do know that age is a factor. And you also have a higher chance if you're Black. Yeah, the color of your skin. I know it's something that made me even wonder, really, just because I am Black. But yeah, just because you are Black, you have a higher chance and you're at a higher risk of certain illnesses in pregnancy. And so it's always good to just make sure you're getting checked up properly and you're going to the hospital and you're attending your antenatals or checkups, prenatal checkups. Just make sure you're doing everything you need to do when you're pregnant to just protect your health, because you're quite vulnerable in pregnancy. Now let's talk about the symptoms of preeclampsia. As I already said, you have no symptoms. No of your symptoms. You literally will just be going about your day thinking you're fine, thinking there's nothing wrong, everything's good. But somebody will just come and tell you there's something wrong with you and it's pretty dangerous and it's something that can affect you and your entire, you can literally die. So yeah, there's no symptom. The only thing is sometimes some people have swollen feet, there's the edema. I can never pronounce this word, but yeah, that happens to some people. But you know why it's not really a good symptom to focus on is because that is also a normal symptom in pregnancy. And so you really will not know if you have it because that's something that happens to pregnant women anyway. So it's just good to always monitor your blood pressure and just talk to your doctor about preeclampsia if your doctor hasn't spoken to you about it already, and just have them check and have them watch you throughout your pregnancy for preeclampsia. With me, at the time I even gave birth, because my blood pressure was rising very steadily, very sharply. And by the time I was about to have my C-section, they literally entered emergency mode with me because while I was sleeping, while I was asleep, my BP went up to 170 over 112. I remember those numbers. I remember the number. Yeah, it was 170 over. And the nurse was just confused. She's like, what's going on? So she checked it again and it was, the same thing. And this is while I was sleeping. And when you're sleeping, your body should be resting. Your BP should really come down even slightly. But my BP was rising so bad. So they literally just went fast, put me on magnesium sulfate, this thing that literally like knocks your entire body down. I couldn't walk. I couldn't do anything. I was just literally paralyzed while the magnesium sulfate was in me, and rushed into the theater and they did the surgery and I had the baby. So yeah, it really comes with no symptoms. I didn't know what was going on. All I was saying was my blood pressure rising. It really comes with no symptoms at all. Now, if you're wondering how you can treat preeclampsia, you really can't. You can only control it. You should talk to your doctor about it. Your doctor will know what to do and your doctor will know how best to help you. The only solution I hear, and as I was told, is that I had to give birth to my child. That is the only way to resolve preeclampsia. You just have to give birth to the baby. Now, the part that, like I said earlier, the dicey part is, is whether your baby is ripe for birth or whether you still need to keep going with the pregnancy. And that's left to your doctor to kind of weigh up the risks. He's going, your doctor will weigh it up and then tell you whether it's best to have the baby early or whether it's best to just carry on until you reach early term, which is 37 weeks. I guarantee you, if you have preeclampsia, I don't think there's any doctor that will let you go beyond 37 weeks of pregnancy. You're going to have that baby before 40 weeks. That's just the way it is, because, they can't take the risk. It's too risky to keep going. You probably, you can die. And so they really don't take at least here in the US, they don't take the risk at all. Once you get to 37 weeks, if you have preeclampsia, you're having your baby. So yeah, if you're wondering what you can do to avoid these risks of having preeclampsia, I already said it. Just, watch your diet, do some exercise, light exercise if you're already pregnant, watch what you eat, reduce your salt intake. I mean, I cut my salt intake completely. Salt, me and salt. My mom, and it was my mom's advice. My mom just said, stop taking salt. Don't eat salt at all and just let go of salt. And that's what I did. So, that can help, but it really can't do much. Preeclampsia is something that, honestly, you probably have to just really ask your doctor about it, because it's, there's much more to it than I can tell you in this video, but it's worth me telling because people don't talk about it enough, and it's so dangerous and it's so common. I mean, it's not very, very common, but amongst us Black people, it's so common that I think it's worth sharing with you guys, because this can help someone out there. Talk to your doctor about preeclampsia. Let your doctor advise you. And just do your best to stay healthy in pregnancy, and you'll probably be fine. You will probably be fine. On that note, guys, I think I've said everything I want to touch on today. Thank you guys for watching me to this point. If you have, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video. Have a great day. Bye.